Oh, it's on these, I'm looking right back through. What is it holding?
It's the reserve.
Yeah, but it's on these. What's the problem? This is January 2025.
So how about November?
What is this?
Did she show up?
That's the treasurer's report.
And I don't have it on this one, November, December.
I've got,
It suddenly came, I think
got
in
the
January.
whole
I was just wondering,
I have no idea because I don't do that.
I would say that it was, here, let's go back and look
That
at
was
that.
when Jessica.
Let's look up.
Is that
let's-
Jessica's
yeah,
treasurer's report?
Let's
Yeah.
go through January of 2024. This is October 2023, here's January, and it's,
yeah, and I think it's Jen Psaki.
and the reserve for future capital.
And she's,
It's just an omission. It's not there is no need for a public records request.
she's
I'm not
got
asking, I'm just wondering how I got that.
all of these demonstrations.
Reserve for future capital, reserve for contingency.
Bernie Sanders had 36,000 dollars. And for the AOC.
Hello.
Oh, sorry. How was your trip?
It was great. It was great. Had a lot of fun.
That's so cool.
It was like a dream come true.
What, it was Argentina and Brazil?
Argentina and Brazil.
Yeah, but I know it's on the older one, so I'm just gonna, my best
Doing
guess,
part of
older one. So my best guess is that when Jessica was doing it, she wasn't adding
Yeah.
on there.
And then Bobby took
Buenos
over, she
Aires
put it in
for
there,
15
and
days
then
and then went to Rio.
Right,
and then it got back on.
yes,
And Bobby saw it from the previous.
exactly.
Thank you.
Because, it's just the ones that Jessica did that don't have it, but all the older ones do.
Hey, Tom. Good to see you.
And it should be on there.
Yeah, right, that's right.
It's not on there by accident, it didn't, it just was not put on there for the, when Jessica.
And it has to do with this reserve,
Yeah,
yeah.
would that be for like the, asphalt paving, parking lot, future capital? No.
No, that's not even a part of it.
Tell you what, I'm gonna behave around
It
here.
has to do,
Be careful, yeah.
that's our reserve
I can't hit
schedule.
him,
That's
he
the
needs to hold me up.
last page.
Does that.
I hate this book with like all my being, in fact, you either have to take some of the stuff out of this book, find a place for it.
It's in the shops.
You have to make it yours.
You didn't hear people last night, yesterday? Oh, jeez.
So what were you saying, Janice, about it?
Well, it's the reserve capital is how we, what we have in mind that maybe finished, fixed.
Right.
I need to go back to Detroit.
Last page, right?
Yeah, you know, I had an uncle, used to, lived up in New York, and he used to go to Detroit.
Right. That's what it
two
is,
years
right?
later. Buy it right from the factory.
That's what the reserve is for.
Love it.
Yeah,
In case, because eventually we're gonna have to repair, or replace the roof. We're going to have to replace the pool filtration system. We're going to have to replace the Marsite, the septic, the building, the plumbing.
Right.
And so
off the car.
every year in the budget, these are what is being proposed now, right? That
Yeah.
we put this much for the roof because it's going out
Every
20
year,
yeah,
every year.
yeah.
Okay.
So that by the time the roof needs to be replaced, the money has already been reserved for those.
And then what happened last year was we had 3 emergency expenses, and it was a whole new thing we had to reallocate, and we had to decide what to take it from on here, and there was like 3 hours of
I don't think.
one-on-one with
I don't
Mary
think you can
Mahoney
get standard
to do the
chips.
paperwork involved. So
order.
this money is there, and like last year, we had emergencies. What did we do? Well, you weren't.
Yes.
What did we do last year? Oh, we had a tree, 3,000.
I went to her funeral, yes.
What did we do last year?
The
Anyway, we had three true emergency events
Stephanie, see what he's gonna.
that had required a reallocation of this, and we took it out of several of these.
He's still thinking.
He's still thinking.
But that's what the reserve capital is.
Hang on. Parking sure seems to be a premium.
And
It's tonight.
I have mine.
Option C.
It is tonight. I don't know what's going on.
So I have, here's mine.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7.
Yeah, and I have mine.
What about 7 or 8? 'Cause I got
Hey,
it.
Zach, how are
What's on
you?
your agenda tonight? Spending money?
No clue.
You got the minutes?
See money that we don't have very long.
You're doing pretty good.
I guess I just have an extra option C for some reason. Or somebody doesn't have an option C.
Because I've got my own.
Option C.
It's actually smaller than what, but it's the what.
My copy is doing it crazy and print. A bunch of stuff.
Said, yeah. Well, because I want to,
How's life going? Good.
How were your travels?
Wonderful.
Did you go to?
I was in Arkansas, and it was just marvelous to be there for spring, a Midwest spring. The wind was different, the flowers.
I keep saying I want to move to Arkansas
Why? That's amazing.
because it's quiet and there's so much
Let me get your
Nature.
phone.
nature. You don't need
and at
to.
night, you see the bed, we pass by it, and you can see.
See, I bought this condo in Humboldt Town where the kids go to college, and my son and his wife. It takes me 3.5 minutes from my house to Walmart. I mean, it's just, the traffic lights last 30 seconds. Cersei, it's an hour north of Little Rock. And one whole family is
Don't
there.
forget the 813.
So I bought a condo and I just spent time. And I got another bill today.
They
We
weren't
have to
having
pay.
flowers because the time of the year.
Reimbursement, yep.
This time.
And then Rio was really nice too.
You don't believe that? Get out on Route 6.
Where's that coming today?
Look on your phone, on the other phone, that burner phone. That too.
10:30? I think people are supposed to be at school or something. No, they're all on hours.
Well, Brad, I'm trying to think who else we
Nobody works anymore.
I bet they can't find a parking spot. I'm searching.
Jan and I went over to the bus. Did you?
So what's wrong with your car now?
The colors of the flags go down and
No idea.
that's all my friends are doing.
And it could be a number.
But it was really nice. We're proud of
So what is this bad? What's trend? It's the third
We
battery.
wanted to.
48,000 miles.
The new president was taking over, so there was a lot of security. We weren't able to go where we were supposed to go. But they did.
Oh, don't worry. I got it. If she wants it, she doesn't, it's fine.
In the area that we were.
Bring another car to you.
But it was nice.
This is yours, right?
Wearing out their
I mean,
clothes.
obviously, it's got your name on it. But I only had one. I know you said I had two, but I do not have the other one. But I've got a bunch of receipts from Ralph that don't go to me. Wait. got this. Did you you didn't get a check for that? I know, and you said I have the other one, but I do not.
Yeah.
Have it.
Yeah. I think jump into it. Get my
So
thoughts.
this is,
But I was really
Who is that?
Florida Department of
So did your,
It's an
did
annual
your
fee.
daughter find out where the,
Yeah.
So that's one that I'm asking for
Do you
reimbursement.
see the names on it?
Yeah.
Tin can.
where the tin can is buried?
Well, we
Oh.
tried to the tool kind
I don't know what she's coming out
And
with.
he's got reimbursement.
Bradley. Oh, no, I already did. I put-
I saw
This year,
February,
Mhm.
and she said for the season, we were the first.
the C needs to start paying bigger interest.
Yeah.
There's the bill.
We were the first.
No, I don't think so.
I'll take care of
Yeah,
it.
this was my name, and she said,
Okay.
Yeah, I just got.
you know, it's how you think the.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
So we can like,
Then you won't get lost,
my
but
agenda.
you might be distracted and, you know, they
Yeah,
just.
renew it.
Okay, I'm calling the meeting to order at 7:37, okay.
Yeah.
Do we have the secretary's report on the April meeting?
Yep. The regular meeting of the Brandon Hills Special Dependent District was held at the Brandon Community Center, 502 East Sadie Street, Brandon, Florida, on April 3rd, 2025. Vice President Brad Sampson called the meeting to order at 7:34 p.m. The following were present: Brad Sampson, Ralph Almirola, Justine Wilkes, Zach Cope, Zaretta Pero, Janice Doyle and Tracy Burgett were absent. And we had guests Art Gazetta and Olin Barnett. Secretary's report. The minutes of March's meeting were read by Zari. Zach motioned to accept the minutes with one change, and Ralph seconded the motions. The minutes were approved. Justine presented the treasurer's report for March 2025. Beginning balance was $54,311.09. There was income of $369.76 from special assessments. Total expenses were $1,896.90. The ending cash balance of the Bank of America account was $52,783.95. Reserves for future capital were $30,171. And reserves for contingency were $3,504, totaling $33,675. Available cash for operations was $19,108.95. Ralph moved to approve the report, and Zach seconded the motion, passed unanimously. There was no old business that I recorded. New business, complimentary consultation on the repavement of the parking lot is pending. Brad rebuilt toilets in the women's restroom and requested reimbursement of $71.74 for supplies and tools. Zari motioned to reimburse Brad, and Ralph seconded. The motion passed. Brad also fitted new gauges on the pump and received a positive inspection from the county. The cabana table has been repainted, but it is unknown who did it. Ralph requested reimbursement for $19.30 for a new pump seal. Brad motioned to reimburse Ralph, and Zach seconded the motion, and the motion passed. Zari volunteered to spray the palm trees around the pool for the insects that are on them. And Zach motioned to adjourn the meeting, and Ralph seconded. The motion passed, the meeting adjourned at 7:53 p.m.
Any additions or corrections?
Correct, and just check, the building's palm trees, it's the Kunti palms. They're the bushes, so.
Spelled COONTIE. Any additions or corrections? If not, do I hear a motion we accept as read?
So moved.
Second,
A second.
all in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Treasurer's report is,
Not, today is May 1st, and Bank of America did not have the April statements today, so there's no treasurer's report because there's no April bank statement. I could have made a good guess. I could have made a good guess of what it was gonna be, but I didn't have anything to back up my paperwork. So it's all done. I just need to get the statement to confirm,
yeah,
and then I'll email it out to everyone.
And then they
Alrighty.
we'll hear it next time.
And we'll hear it next time.
month.
Yeah.
has to be read.
Yeah.
Okay, old business. This is a big meeting tonight because we have to decide in our meeting on what the assessment is gonna be for next year. And then we will have the hearing at 8 o'clock. One thing you learned in doing this board business, which has really been interesting to me, is that we are a government agency of sorts. We are so tiny, but it helps me understand the bigger picture and what happens as it goes on up the line. For instance, the hearing that we'll have at 8 o'clock is not a discussion as to what we're going to assess. It is an official legal hearing in which we do resolutions and we fill out a paper. And the first time I heard this, I thought I was in Greece, and it was all in Greek, because this is full of whereases and adopted by, and it's a completely legal paper. And when you realize that every single government agency all the way up, they do this, and it must take just thousands of hours to do. But as such, now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Trustees, blah, blah, blah. So that's an important consideration, and why several years ago, Bobby and I decided to move the budget hearing to May instead of June, because the reports that she has to send in have to be in by June 30. And those reports, in order for us to do it, it has to be this legal document and a hearing and so on. It's very official, it's very prescribed, it has to be done according to certain wording and everything. So we made the decision to do this, and if we were to move our meeting tonight, if we didn't have a quorum tonight, we would have to move it to June. Well, we have that facility, but Zach would have to re-advertise it. It has to legally be advertised 2 weeks prior to the meeting. Legal, it's all legal. There's nothing you can do about it. And you did advertise this meeting. Just occurred to me.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Zach's sitting there, they're going.
But we could not have had it had he not advertised it. We would have had to postpone it, advertise it in May, and have the meeting in the first part of June, and then she puts it in. So it's important to know that we just don't do this stuff. This is not a fraternity meeting. This is a legal government thing. The first meeting I was at, Jan was president, Scott Norrington was in on it. I thought it was Greek, whereas, and all that. But it's very important to understand what we're doing. So, Treasurer, you want to pass these to our members? We have 3 budget options tonight, and Justine is going to discuss those with us, and then we will pick.
Well, us first, and then there might be a few copies extra.
Thank you.
And then Jen, I have one, and then the rest.
Okay.
If it's Greek to Jan, it's Greek to me.
You don't live in our neighborhood. Why would you need one?
He's
It's
attending.
not our neighborhood. A member of what?
It's public information.
Well, you can go where you need to
I'll
go.
get over it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cheers.
Oh, I have to do this? Okay. Well, so there's 3.
Greek you are.
No, I can understand. No.
The budget has all of the options from every, like, that we normally spend. So most things from last year are the same as this year, maybe which is a little different. But on the option A, the assessment would be $406. So each home would pay $406 to cover all of the budget for the year. The water, the pool, the electric, and then the only thing that is on option A is to repave the parking lot is $3,500, which would just be to
Resurface it.
to resurface it. To resurface. They both say repave, so that may be a bad word. One should say repair and one should say repave. So A would be to
Just putting it
repair.
on top of what you've got.
to repair the parking lot. And then the assessment would go from 385, which is currently, to 406. Option B has to repave the parking lot, which is, which is 6,500. That would change and I think it was an estimate at the time that we did this. But it was close. It wasn't changing it to the special assessment to 447. So we go from 385 to 447 in order to redo the parking lot at the pool. And then option C keeps it at 385, and we don't spend any money repaving the parking at the pool. And am I missing any other points on this? I mean,
Well, those are the three. Otherwise, our monthly expenses annual expenses and monthly are pretty well fixed at this point. And if you are,
Well, minus possible inflation.
I was going to say, if you're getting bills at home, you know that sometimes things are happening to us that we don't even know are coming. So I'm going to open it up for discussion from the community. If any of you have comments, again, as she said, three options: keep it as it is, don't do anything to the pavement, the simple repaving, or the complete redoing. Any discussion?
and the assessment will stay the same as it was.
Right.
Did you ask your guy?
No, the guy's gonna get to come see it. He's not gonna come by. He's got some health issues and some other things. I mean, he's still planning on it when he can, but he hasn't made it mine yet.
Okay.
Which we're disappointed not to have that information.
I think when I was thinking about it, I was thinking of all of the changes that are coming that we have no idea how much things are going to be coming in if they come in from China or whatever. We're being fed a lot of fear, but we also know that things are changing quickly, price-wise. Any comments?
If I were gonna comment, I would say either we replace it altogether or we don't do anything. And I don't have a problem with the parking at the pool. I park there just fine, you know. So it doesn't matter to me.
I agree with Justine.
Can I make a statement?
Yeah.
We saw Azzarelli paving the road right by the post office, and they did a great job. So, remember we saw?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they did
Yeah.
a beautiful
They
job.
did a nice job.
But
That's one of the quotes.
that was the total redo. But I honestly, I don't think it needs to be like Justine. I think you either redo it totally, pull it all up, or you leave it alone. And
just
I don't
wait.
think it's bad enough to redo just yet. That's my thought.
I think regardless of whether or not it's bad enough to redo, there's no problem parking there. There aren't any big holes.
Right.
We're not damaging anyone's vehicles by parking there. It's just not attractive. And
Any community input?
Anybody?
Any additional, I mean, we're all part of the community too, but any,
I would
I would leave it alone.
go along with your thoughts and just leave it as is.
Maybe just throw some paint on the, what is it, the Conti palms? Conti palms?
Kunti, C-O-O-N-T-I-P. They're ancient palms that they used to use the root as, what's the word, tapioca? Not tapioca.
Flour.
Flour. It was a flour product.
It's a prehistoric plant.
Prehistoric
from what
plant.
I
There you go.
understood.
And very
But-
hardy.
Yeah, but maybe just paint the border. Right,
Oh,
because it is after my long guy went and trimmed. It's in good shape. It's just kind of looking.
Yeah.
He did trim it? He trimmed
Yeah.
the poles? Oh.
Well, he trimmed them back, he didn't trim them really down, did he? He just trimmed them
Yes,
like
because
this way.
I wasn't sure how much you guys wanted to do, so I said just clean it a little bit.
Okay, we'll talk about the palms in a little bit.
Okay.
The country palms, yeah. Okay, are we ready to vote? So we're going to vote, and all this has to be, it has to be documented who votes on the budget, how everybody voted. So we're voting, A is an assessment of 406, B is an assessment of 447, and C is an assessment of 385, which is what it was this year. Okay, board members, all in favor of option A, raise your hand. All in favor of option B, raise your hand. All in favor of option C, raise your hand. Option C it is, we will retain, the assessment will be the same as it was this year. Okay. That was easily done, and then we will do this during the, okay, on old business, I do want to real quickly, we're not gonna, there's nothing for discussion, this unsatisfactory report at the pool. I want to explain what happened, and again, it's my fault for not taking care of some of these things that needed done. On the gauges, the gauges were installed with our new system, and our man at Pool Masters knows that's done. When the guy looked at it, what was his name, Josh? I can't read his, Jason something. When he inspected it, they weren't where he thought he was expecting them to be. And
He's on commercial, they have to be not on the tanks themselves or somewhere else, and you have to have one after the tanks.
right.
So
It was not a safety issue. Our health was not an issue. There was no crisis. Nobody died, but he
and nobody
chose.
at risk either.
And nobody was even at risk, right? So he chose to do that. The other one was our, the suction outlet, thing.
Drain guard.
And when we had the pool remarcited, I went back and looked at when we had bought that, so that it could be documented. Our contractor was responsible for turning that into the Department of Health. And he did not do that. And so none of us were aware of when it was out of date. It lasts 7 years. So none of us were aware of when it was, and that kept showing up on there. And I knew that we had a suction outlet, and I didn't worry too much about it. The suction outlet is made so that you have to do it by hand. It cannot just be laid on the bottom of the pool, because that's how people get hurt. So those two things were the two things that Josh, I believe was his name, chose to basically shut us down until we got them all done. Nobody was harmed, nobody was at harm, everything was okay. He just caught us in a justifiable thing. Interestingly, when we took a picture of the statement that said we had the new outlet installed and so on, I went down and met him at the pool. He called me, he was down at the pool, it was the last day, and I went down to meet him. He had 3 women that he was training, and he had been training them for 3 weeks. And he has 600 pools to inspect in 6 months. So, but anyway, I go down there and there were these 3 women, and he was training them. So I handed him the thing, and we made he said, okay, it was going to be good. Brad was going to get back with him. I turned around to leave, and I heard him say, so that's how you close them down and let them reopen. And it occurred to me that he had used our pool as an example for the 3 women he was training as to how to do it. So I just wanted to say that. But I was to fault at not checking out when the outlet, it's not an outlet, yeah, suction outlet. So anyway,
No.
I felt taken by him.
You're the president. That's not your responsibility to check all the details
I
about
tried.
the pool.
I really
So
tried. Yeah.
you're taking on that.
That
That's
is.
not
I'm
your
a martyr.
responsibility.
I'm a martyr. Yeah, but I appreciate your comment.
And again,
But
I
I
assumed it
did
was done
feel
too.
taken by him. He chose to use two things that we were not really at harm. Nobody was harmed. If, as we've had happen twice, somebody kicks the panel out of those white fences, we shut the pool down. It is then closed. And we would really be, they would be very upset if they found that. So we've had that happen twice, and we immediately spend $150 to have the pool fence company come out. They're not pool fence company come out and repair them. It's $150 every time it happens. Twice people have kicked it in, and we've had to do that. But immediately, if your fence is broken, your pool is shut down. And so anyway, pool should be open this weekend. They're supposed to fix it tomorrow. Okay, new business. I am submitting the Kunti palms are a mess, and I bought 7 dust and put on them, and I cut down the ones right there by the gate so they weren't hanging over. If you've noticed at the north entrance on the south side, it is so dry and so hot that the Kunti palms are fallen. They're not bug infested. They have just, they're heat, and this is heat related because they're supposed to endure everything. So I'm submitting for reimbursement 2 dustings for the palms at a total of $33.94. I used 7 dust, which is what I've used every year. I just didn't put it on before I left on vacation, and they really got ahead of us. I don't know if they're going to survive or not.
Well,
What
they
do you
should.
have? Are you going to spray it?
No, we already
Pretty
did
good.
several times, and he said it was those little white things. It's like a fungus.
No, not aphid.
That aphids?
No.
Okay.
Have you got your mail?
He said it was a fungus, and he sprayed it several times. This is remaining because I bought 4.
Oh, he used organic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said this would do it. I haven't seen how it is now.
There was scaly stuff and there was actually
black
the white,
stuff?
the white bugs. They're about,
It's really bad.
Mhm.
about that big.
Well, he
So-
said it would be good to pressure wash it, so they would all come off. But he said this should do it.
What a great idea. I never thought of pressure washing.
But, but
They're
do, we just,
dead.
do we need to,
141.
I don't want to put them to a stress, but again, I'm someone in the community was going to find out from an expert about what to do for these cookies.
That somebody has tried so many times. I don't know, can't get through to them.
I understand.
Is there, are they water drawn?
They don't take water. That's why they're so, that's why
No,
they're so.
yeah, there's no water system for them.
Okay.
I mean, at least not for us. I mean, I
Right,
guess some
that's
people
what-
do,
Right, that's what I'm wondering.
but
44.
in the times
supposed-
past,
They just
they've
survived.
actually been cut down. I mean, that tall.
Right, yeah.
But the last time we did that was probably what do you think, Jan? 3 or 4 years ago. The last time we cut them all the way down.
All the way
Yes, it has been, yeah.
So I'm kind of wondering if that'd be a thing to
Too
do, but
stressful.
when? Do you want to do it right now with all the heat, or you wait when we start getting some rain? I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah, I took the hedge
I'm not
trimmers and
agreeing on
trimmed
it.
right there by the gate to get them out of people's way.
Yeah, but that's yeah.
But I wondered about that too, whether we should just cut them all down. Probably what we should do is try watering one area and just see if they start coming up again. I don't know.
Comment. Why don't we ask the Hillsborough Extension Service how to handle them?
I was gonna do that, yeah.
Would you
but I
mind
didn't.
handling
I should.
They're nice people.
Well, yeah, I know, yeah. It's just the time.
Okay, did you get that?
I had a check already written out for you, and I'm starting to write another one out for you. But you
Word
need
it
to-
out.
You need to anyway, but I don't have your other receipt.
Yeah.
All right, I need a motion to reimburse me for $33.94, Zari for $44.63,
Do we need 2 separate motions?
and Zach
So the legal ad, not $244.
Zach for $244. Do I hear a motion to that
Okay,
effect?
so move to reimburse Janice.
Sorry, and Zach.
Do it all at once, or we okay?
Well, voting all at once.
Okay, and reimburse Zach and Zara for their expenses
Okay. In a second,
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Or-
Motion carries.
Thank
Okay, and he's got to use.
Okay. Here, let me just, got one,
Another rule.
two.
Two, okay,
I'm gonna
two.
need Brad to
And this
sign
isn't
it.
stamped, yeah.
Brad to sign it.
Right. Oh, wait a minute, this is mine.
This is Zari's.
What's that one? Oh,
That's
that's Brad's,
Brad's.
okay.
From a time before we already voted on
Yeah,
that.
Right, okay, and then this is mine, there you go, okay. We got it,
Okay.
yeah. Do your thing. Just a quick note, we got liability insurance reestablished at $2,667, and that went up $300 this year. So everything is going to be up. One thing I noted there when I filled out the application for liability insurance, there were 3 questions on there that had to do with our signs were also present in Spanish. So it'll be coming down the pike that we'll now need to put up signs in Spanish and English. You don't need to document that. You don't need to document that.
Anything about the insurance?
I was just telling people. Is there any other business? If not, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I want to. I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Same as opposed, same sign. In between this and our budget hearing, we have 3 houses for sale. We're always interested in property values. 621 South Sylvan, which is Julie and Kennan's house. They're 2 houses down from me and Art, so $430,000. The one that just went for sale down at the corner, I can't think of the last name. It just went on the market a few days ago for $399,000. And the one on Carolyn is at $389,000. So property values are good. None of them have sold, however. So we have to remember that. All right, at this time, we will let our adoring public in. This is a long time joke, right here. Let our adoring public in. Usually there's nobody here. So the joke.
Crowd's a little thin, but we're here.
Yes, there you go.
Do you have this from last year? This is the,
I'll take
the
your
actual,
door
these are the
card.
minutes. And I can actually use these and just put the right dates and people that are here. But everything will be the same. You'll have to change the budget here. And,
Sure.
Yeah, I do that now.
You have it.
It's on my computer. Yeah,
It's on your
electronic, yeah.
computer. Okay. Is he leaving?
Yes.
Yeah, Art just
Okay.
left.
All right, the public hearing budget is now being called to order at Brandon Hills Special Dependent District at the Brandon Community Center
At 8:04.
at 8:04. It is to be noted that the hearing has been advertised in the Tampa Bay Times in April, some date of 2025, I don't
Was
know.
that April 13th?
Okay, April 13. I remind you that the purpose of the meeting is to review and approve the budget for fiscal year 25-26. The proposed budget was posted on the Brandon Hills website before the hearing in compliance with Chapter 189.4184 of the Florida statutes. The final budget, as approved at this hearing, will be posted on the same website. Board Treasurer Justine Wilkes presented the budget, and the board approved that the ad valorem assessment would be set at $385 for each property in Brandon Hills. Is there any discussion, any questions? Just a minute. This has to be read exactly according to formula. Is there a motion that we accept budget, approve the budget, and set the resolution at $385? Read that.
I move that we approve the fiscal year 2025-2026 budget as presented by the board. I also move that we adopt the board's resolution setting the assessment at $385.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
$385.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The hearing is adjourned at 8:09. 8:11.
8:06.
Okay. And we are adjourned.
That's everybody.
So what we do now is we have to fill this out and sign it. Upon the motion by trustee Brad, seconded by trustee Zach, the following resolution was adopted by 6 votes to 0 votes. Whereas Brandon Hills Special Dependent District is a special dependent district duly established and operating pursuant to ordinance number 02-21. Whereas ordinance number 02-21 provided, and so on. So that's what we will be doing now. Thank you all.
Okay. Who signed it? Y'all too? Or do I need to sign that?
President and treasurer. Yeah. Good question.
Here's the leftover.
You keep it.
You have a key to the storage area of the pool?
No.
Okay.
Okay, just put it there. Okay.
I didn't think she did, that's what
Yeah, no, he just mixed it with water and it's great.
That's good. Thank you. I hope we've killed it all by now. Did she get her check?
She did.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Everybody got their check.
Okay, so, I just want to go over this with you. 'Cause
Yeah. I guess we need to set the things up. We need to put all this set up and not set
It
up.
was set up, one was here, and one, was next to that.
And then all the chairs put up?
Yeah.
The
no,
chairs were
the
actually
around
around the
all
tables.
chairs were around the table.
All the chairs? Okay.
Most of them.
Yeah, most of them were. We got a few.